Big or small, unplanned expenses suck. Whether it's a layoff, a fender bender, or even just a broken cell phone, if you aren't prepared financially, it's much harder to deal with what life throws at you. So in this video, I'm going to get you prepared and teach you how to build an emergency fund so you can stay on track with your financial goals, even in difficult times. An emergency fund is an easily accessible cash reserve specifically set aside for unplanned expenses. And as unpredictable as they are, one thing's for certain: emergencies can happen to anyone. A study by Bankrate showed that over half of Americans can't cover an unexpected $1,000 emergency room visit without taking on debt or making major lifestyle changes to cut costs. That's an alarming statistic, and that goes to show that having the financial safety net that an emergency fund provides can help a lot of people avoid making their financial situation even more difficult than it already is. So pay attention and follow along to make sure you're on the right side of that stat. The first step to starting an emergency fund is figuring out how much you should have saved. Most experts recommend that you should aim to have 6 months worth of expenses saved in your emergency fund. But everyone's situation is different, and you should adjust that number to your individual circumstances. For example, if you don't have anyone depending on you financially and you can replace your job easily if you were to lose it, then you could probably get away with saving closer to 3 months of expenses. Whereas if your income varies a lot and you have a lot of dependents, then you probably want to save closer to 9 months or even a year's worth of expenses in your emergency fund. Now, if you're starting from scratch, saving that much can be a process. So let's go over some strategies you can use to help you save easier. First, you should keep your emergency fund saved in a high-yield savings account. Since emergencies can happen at any time, it's crucial that you have quick access to your emergency fund. But you also want to make sure the funds you have saved for emergencies aren't tied up with the funds you use for everyday expenses. Keeping your emergency fund in a high-yield savings account not only ensures easy access, but it also means your money earns interest, helping you hit your savings target even faster. Just make sure that the account is FDIC insured so that your money is safe. Next, if you haven't already, make a budget. Understanding how much money you make and spend is absolutely necessary for saving effectively. And it can also help you identify areas where you can reduce spending to help you save even more. You should write out your sources of monthly income and your monthly expenses as accurately as possible so you can see where your money's going. Don't forget to include the money you're going to save for your emergency fund each month too, even if you're only able to save a little bit. Now, before getting to the next strategy, if you're finding this video helpful so far, don't forget to toss it a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. My channel's pretty new so far, so your subscription goes a really long way for helping other people who need this information find it. Now, moving on to the next strategy, you should automate your savings as much as possible with direct deposits and recurring transfers. Most employers give you the option to do split direct deposits to multiple bank accounts, and setting up a direct deposit into your emergency fund takes the work out of your hands and lets you save without even thinking about it. You can also set up recurring transfers from your main bank account to your emergency fund. If you do this, just be mindful of your balances so you don't accidentally overdraft. The final strategy here is to take advantage of those unexpected cash inflows. If you get money unexpectedly, well, congratulations, that's awesome. But you want to make sure you don't just spend it all right away, as tempting as that is. Putting a portion or even all of that money towards your emergency fund will help you hit your target number faster. So keep this in mind when that tax refund comes around. Now, the other question you're probably asking is, when is it okay to use the emergency fund you work so hard to save? Not every unexpected expense is a dire emergency, but that doesn't mean it's not okay to use your emergency fund to cover those expenses. What's important is that you set guidelines for yourself on when you should use the fund and stick to those guidelines. For me personally, I use my emergency fund specifically when an unplanned expense would cause me to have an outstanding balance on my credit card. This way, the unplanned expense doesn't get even more expensive with credit card interest and fees. And then after I use my emergency fund, I prioritize getting it back up to my target number with my future savings. So by now, you should understand why building an emergency fund is a crucial step towards financial stability. And if you start today and stay consistent, you can build your financial safety net to be ready for any curveballs life throws at you. So with that, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button and smash that subscribe button to see more videos like this one.